You did what was right.
Henry, I'm so glad to see you.
What actually happened to you in Scallis? I mean, during the attack and... well, you know.
That's a long story. Not a very cheerful one. Are you sure you want to hear it now?
I do.
All right then. It was a day like any other. Another ordinary day in my ordinary life. I awoke at first light, before the others. I like those kind of mornings best. When the first rays of sunshine quickly drive away the nighttime cold. Hello, you. Come here. And the breeze carries the scent of dew-covered grass and the bloom of spring. You nice boy. I wanted to get my chores done before the rest of the household was up. And this morning seemed made for that very purpose. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this. Here, chickie, chickie, chickie. Here you are, girls. Fill your beaks. That should do it. The garden is looking how it should again.
Teresa, come here.
What do you need, Papa?
Go up and see the blacksmith. He made some nails for me. Here's some coin.
All right. Anything else while I'm at it?
No, unless you want to stop off at the market and buy some supplies. And before you go, wake Samuel. The boy's still lying in bed and won't stir. He ought to follow your example and Stebor's. You two don't have to be pushed to work. Well, at least he's still better than that good-for-nothing Zbyszek. The lazy wretch. A helper like that isn't worth a damn. If it weren't for his father, God rest his soul, I'd have thrown him out on his ear long ago.
Aye, he's an idler, that one. And he'd hardly give you the time of day, never mind a kind word.
God will reward him in kind one day, mark my words. You could tell him to get his ass to work too.
Right, go for nails, send Samuel and Zbyszek to work. If it's at all possible.
Aye, just so. Oh, and Teresa, once you've done all your chores for the day, I've a little surprise for you.
A surprise, Pa? Don't you want to tell me about it now?
Curiosity killed the cat. What kind of surprise would it be if I told you, girl?
Oh, all right. Sammy, get up. It's broad daylight, and the birds are singing.
Yeah, I'm up.
Have a bite to eat before going to the mine.
All right, Ma. You don't have to treat me like a child. Looks like it'll be nice today, eh? I could go to the pond fishing.
But you have to go to work.
I know. But maybe I can slip off after lunch.
There will be no slipping off. You know very well Nemoy has been complaining about you.
What about dropping that pail on Tonda's head? It was an accident.
Not the first accident you've had, though, was it?
Well, there you go then. If I leave early, nothing will happen to anyone. And you can cook the fish for lunch tomorrow.
You silly sod. All you ever do at the pond is lie around. The only thing you'll catch is more trouble from the mine master when he finds out. Well, if you're not a child, you can sort it out yourself with Nemoy.
Don't I always?
Pa says you're idle, and if you carry on like that, he'll throw you out.
Ah! Why would he do that? Then he'd be left only with Stibor, and Stibor is not going to break his back working either.
Listen, Zbyszek. Pa's not happy with you, and if he says you're idling, you'd better make a bit of effort. I'm only telling you for your own good. You wouldn't want to lose your job now, would you?
You lot are always going on about work as if it was a blessing from heaven. All right. I'll get to work. Anything for a bit of peace.
That's more like it. You'll see it doesn't hurt. What are you two quarreling about here, for the love of God?
This pipsqueak here claims studying is as hard a job as working in the stables.
I most certainly did not, because study is of course much harder work than mucking out a bit of horse manure.
See? That's what I'm talking about, and yet it's as clear as day.
Hang on, what's as clear as day?
That study is as hard as mucking out stables, if not harder.
A man who doesn't work with his hands is an idler, and a good for nothing. Am I wrong?
I'd like to ask you a couple of questions before answering. You're a scholar. What are you doing in Skalitz?
I'm on my way to Sasau with letters. This ingrate here is stabling my horse overnight before I continue my journey.
What does your work involve, student?
I'm no student, but a baccalaureus, having completed the trivium of the Faculty of Liberal Arts in the University of Prague. Grammar, rhetoric, and dialectics are my work, while this yokel wouldn't be capable even of learning Latin. Father arranged that I will serve as a teacher in Kuttenberg for 2 years before returning to the university to attend the quadrivium. To teach and be taught, that is real work.
You serve Sir Radzig at the castle, don't you, Master Groom?
Aye, and Sir Radzig is very pleased with my work. I can be rightly proud of what I do, and I bring home a nice wage too. The children are fed, and the wife can buy herself a nice scarf from time to time. I'm satisfied with my lot. How many people can say that?
What's so hard about your job, Master Groom?
That's real work, not like this parasite here does. On my feet from dawn till dusk, feeding, mucking out, grooming. By evening, I'm dead on my feet. I'm doing something real, see? Something that makes sense. Horses are needed for work, for the lords, for riding out, even in times of war. And someone has to care for those horses. All this good-for-nothing can do is mouth off. But he'd never be able to do a real job.
That's all I need to know. You're both right, but not one of you has a grain of sense. Work is work, whether it's done with your hands or your heart.
Ah, rhetoric worthy of Socrates himself, and out of the mouth of a woman. I bow to you, good maiden. The professors of Prague could learn a thing or two from you.
Are you saying this good-for-nothing here, who has to beg for his beer at the tavern, is my equal? But to hell with it, I won't argue.
Johanka, what's up?
I was asking around for you. There's something we have to talk about. Are you going to the dance this evening?
I'd like to go and have a look, if I have time for it. Why? Do you want to borrow my dress?
No, nothing like that. I've got a dress, but I don't want to end up dancing on my own, if you know what I mean.
What? You want me to dance with you?
Imagine what folk would make of that. No, silly. I want Matthias to dance with me.
So, what's the problem? Just go and tell him. You've had your eye on him since the Harvest Festival. Surely you must have noticed by now.
He hasn't. I'm at a loss what to do.
Can't you just go and invite him straight out?
You must be joking. What if he doesn't like me? What if he's more interested in... No, not a chance.
So you'd like Matthias to take you to the dance, but you don't want to tell him?
That's right.
How in heaven's name do you want to do it then?
Easy. You're going to steal his lucky dice.
What? How is that supposed to help, for Christ's sake?
If you can get your hands on it without him noticing, he'll be looking everywhere for it. He'll be wandering around saying to himself, "Where did I put that damned dice?" And then I'll turn up. God be with you, Matthias. You didn't by any chance lose your dice? And he'll say,
Aye, Johanka, I did. Where on earth did you find it?
"Oh, I found it near the tavern. You know there's going to be a dance there this evening." And then he'll finally get the message.
Oh, the dance. Yes. Johanka, wouldn't you like to go with me?
Of course. I'd love to go with you, Matthias. Thank you for asking. Then he'll take me by the hand, and he'll look... Never mind that. Well, that's how it's going to help. More or less.
You painted a very pretty picture, no doubt. But do you think it'll really work?
I'm absolutely sure it will.
Why don't you just steal the dice yourself?
And if he caught me doing it? You think he'd go dancing with me then? Except maybe to the bailiff. But you... Well, you're a miller's daughter and... Well, you know what they say.
Right. We're all a pack of thieves. I might have known. All right, then. I'll help you.
Thank you, Tess. Bring the dice to me as soon as you have it.
Hang on, though. How am I supposed to find it?
He was saying at the tavern yesterday that he keeps it in his trunk when he's not going to play. Go and see Fritz first. I heard he's always got some lockpicks, whatever he wants them for. Anyway, no doubt he can show you how to use one.
Me? Pick locks? Johanka, aren't you going a bit too far?
Well, then maybe you can get hold of his key somehow. But whatever you do, don't get caught. And not a word to Matthias, for the love of God.
Good day.
How are things, Matthew?
Teresa, it's unusual to see you here. Come to see the eighth wonder of the world, have you?
What would that be now?
Fritz, working. Well, that's a sight you don't see every day.
I'd say that's the pot calling the kettle black. You don't look too busy yourself.
Why overdo it? Jesus was a carpenter too, but how many beams do you think he made, eh?
Matthew, that's blasphemy.
No, it's only a harmless joke. You don't have to look at me like the parish priest did at Kunesh, when he spewed over his pew.
Ugh, don't even remind me. Well, I'd better be going. Work to do, you know.
Don't overdo it now.
Good day.
What's new, Fritz?
I don't know. Oh, actually, I do know. There's going to be a dance this evening. Are you going?
Maybe. I've got a lot to do still.
They say it's going to carry on tomorrow too. And they'll be roasting a pig. Can't miss that.
So I heard. I wonder how come Sir Radzig allowed it.
No, it wasn't his lordship's idea. It was Master Faithful's.
Master Tobias? Why would he do that?
I don't know. Maybe he just wants to show off his wealth. I'd have roast pig and dancing every evening if I had his coin.
Fritz, I hear you know something about opening locks without a key.
Sure. All you have to do is charge at the door. Shoulder first.
I don't want to break down a door. I want to pick a lock.
Ah, you'll want a lockpick then.
Shh, not so loud.
Well, I can give you some. But you know what they say. Not even a pig grunts for free.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Who says that?
Mostly me. And everyone thinks it's fucking clever, so bugger off.
Hey, Fritz, how about giving me a couple of lockpicks for free, eh? After all, we've known each other since we were little.
All right, but just this time. If you break them, don't expect to get more for free.
Just two?
You said a couple, didn't you?
Will you teach me how to pick a lock?
Sure. For a few groschen.
Since it's you...
Well, a little more and we'll call it a deal.
It's easy as fuck, unless you're all thumbs. Listen, you've got to find a spot where the lock catches and press on it. And only then can you turn it. Nice and light though. No jerky movements. Like when you're caressing a girl's...
I get it. Thanks.
Greetings.
Tell me, Matthias, what do you think of your hunker?
Johanka? Yeah, she's a nice girl. She helped the lads and me out of a few scrapes. Actually, she's always been good to us. Why do you ask?
Your hunker's a very nice girl, all right. Haven't you noticed maybe she's nice to you more than the others?
Me? How do you mean?
She's shy. You know how it is.
You mean... she likes me?
Supposing you were to ask her to the dance this evening.
Really? You think she'd go with me? Well, I suppose I could, but... Wait, though. Maybe I should have a bit of a wash first. What do you think?
Don't beat around the bush. Just go and ask her. There's nothing to it.
Oh. All right. I'll try it.
Good morning.
About Matthias.
Yes? Tell me everything.
I had a chat with Matthias and told him everything.
What? Oh my god! You traitor!
But he said he'd be happy to dance with you.
I can't believe you'd... Wait, what did you say?
I said he'd be very happy to dance with you.
Just like that?
What more do you want, an offer of marriage?
He'll come to you and invite you. That's all.
He's coming here! Oh my god, I have to get ready. Thanks, Tess. Thank you.
Good day, Teresa.
Johanka. God be with you.
Matthias, what are you doing here?
Well, there's that dance this evening, and... Yes, what?
I'll go with you.
Ah, I see. I wanted to ask you.
You asked and I said yes. So we'll go together. Pick me up in the evening, at dusk.
All right. Yeah, I'll pick you up this evening. At dusk.
I look forward to it. Greetings, Tess.
God's blessings.
What's new in the village?
There's to be a dance this evening. Again. Can we not find some other way to enjoy ourselves for a change? Harvest Festival, Pentecost Festival, dances, church, and dances again.
What else would we do for fun?
I heard they have combat tournaments in Rattay sometimes. The men put on shining armour and folk can watch them battering each other. That must be lovely to watch. Why can't we have something like that once in a while? After all, Sir Radzig is the royal hetman.
But for a tournament, you need knights. We don't have enough here in Skalitz.
Ah, but Sir Hanish's tourney in Rattay is even for commoners. Even our fellas could enroll there.
Oh my god, don't say that too loud. I can just imagine how my brothers would be tripping over each other to enroll.
They wouldn't be the only ones, would they? How about that Henry? He's always waving that wooden sword around like you'd think he was getting ready to go on crusade. But there's an interesting thought now. Which of our fellas do you think would win?
Henry would win for sure. He's always practicing with that wooden sword, like you say. And besides, he's a blacksmith's son. They're always strong from hammering iron all day.
Do you think so? Don't say anything, but I think that Henry's a bit of a fool. And he doesn't overwork himself at that forge.
Anyway, enough about tourneys. I must be on my way. Take care.
Good morning.
What's new with you, Antonia?
My husband keeps complaining about a cough and a running nose. With all the moaning he does, you'd think you ought to call the gravedigger. And then, in the evening, he ups and off to the tavern. Men, they get a tickle in the throat and they think they're dying. But put a tankard of ale in front of them, all of a sudden, they're right as rain.
Greetings.
What news, neighbour? I haven't seen you here much. Where are you from?
I live at a farm beyond the village. Vincent's my name. I know you, though. You're the miller's daughter, right? Your brother helped us with the harvest one year.
Right, I remember that. It was before Samuel started working at the mines.
He's in the mines? I thought he'd be working at the mill with your father.
My older brother Stebor does that. Papa doesn't think the mill pays enough to feed us all, so he got Samuel a mining job. He said it's as good a job as any. And it ought to toughen him up a bit. The mill will go to Stebor one day, and his wife, when he finds one.
And what will happen with you?
I'll get married too, and live with my husband, obviously.
Of course, that's the way of the world.
God be with you, good sir.
What news, neighbour?
What do you want, mill wench? Did your old man send you? I paid him for his flour last week.
No, nothing like that. I was just passing the time of day.
Then go and pass it with someone else. I'm not in the mood for women's gossip. Just like my old woman, by Christ.
Where is she, anyway? Your wife, I mean. She's been away quite a long time, hasn't she?
She went to see her family. Said her brother died. What's it to you, anyway?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Ah, she never said a word about him. And all of a sudden, she goes rushing off all the way to Costanet saying he's kicked the bucket. Aye, she's been gone a long time. Far too long. Brother or no brother, I'll take my belt to her backside when she gets back. Anything else?
No, of course it's no business of mine. It's just that you mentioned her. Well, please give your good wife my regards when she gets back.
Good morning.
What's new in the village, Yarmila?
Did you happen to meet that scholar who's been wandering around here since yesterday? He told me a wonderful story from olden times when Princess Libusa ruled. You've heard about Libusa, haven't you?
Of course. She was that soothsayer who founded Prague, right?
Aye, that's what they say.
And what did that scholar tell you about her?
About the Maiden's War. Would you like to hear it?
Maiden's War? That sounds like a good story. Tell me about it.
Girls were different back then, in pagan times. They could live... How did he put it? Free of the yoke of marriage. They bore arms like men and waged war. And they chose their own leader. And they even dressed like men. Can you believe it?
What happened to them?
He said they were so bold that they even built their own fortress, where no man was allowed.
They really did that themselves?
Oh, aye. And when the menfolk found out, they were envious. They came together in great numbers and built their own fortress in sight of the maiden's one.
What? Men and women lived separately in their own castles?
They did, and they waged war on each other. The men were braver, but the women often outsmarted them.
Naturally. How did it end up?
In the end, they agreed on a truce. To celebrate peace, they feasted for 3 days, and each man took away one bride.
Oh, I was expecting it to end differently.
I'd be happier too if the women won and could grab any husband they wanted.
A pretty picture indeed. Thanks for the story. It was quite inspiring. I must be going. Our fortress is still ruled by men, and they haven't learned to clean up after themselves.
Jesus Christ be praised. How may I serve you?
Any news, Maruna?
Well, there's a peculiar fellow standing by the potters on the outskirts, selling strange trinkets, relics and the like, and he's got a peculiar talk to go with it.
Peculiar in what way?
Well, I went to see what he was selling and greeted him politely, and he started on about how I'm a pretty girl and what have you.
What's so strange about that? Fellas are always talking to girls that way if they don't wear a wife's scarf.
Ah, but that's not all. He started on about how we're different from one another, men and women like, and in a vulgar way too.
So, what did he say was the difference between men and women?
He said a woman's body is the opposite of a man's, that they've got their, you know, outside, and ours is inside. And that it's because men have more heat inside their bodies, and that pushes their things out. But we're colder, and so we've got it inside. Do you think it's true, what he says?
Yes, that makes sense.
It does, doesn't it? But I won't go investigating it.
I'd rather not say anything on the subject. Take care of yourself, Maruna.
Good day.
How are things with you, Pigman?
Pigman? I thought only the fellas at the mine called me that.
Oh, sorry. Samuel sometimes mentions you, and I suppose I got used to it. Does it bother you?
Ah, what's the difference? I'll never shake it anyway. Pickman the idiot who chopped off 2 of his toes with a pick.
That's awful. People are always getting hurt in the mines. How did it happen exactly?
Just not paying attention, I suppose. We were digging a tunnel and I simply hit my foot with a pickaxe. It went through my boot like a hot knife through butter.
That must have hurt awfully.
It hurt like hell. And now I have to stuff the tip of my boot with straw or I can't walk straight.
I'd better be going. There's lots of work to be done. Be careful now, all right?
Yeah. God be with you.
How come you're not at the mine, Tonda?
I did my backing, and then I sent me home. But I'd rather be back in my winch. Grab a good hold of it, and keep it turning so fast it'd make your head spin. It ain't for nothing they call me Tonda the Winch.
Easy now, Tonda. If you're not careful, that winch will be the death of you.
How are you?
What's new with you?
Well, I went to see Pavlena's father to ask for her hand. He hummed and hawed for a bit, but in the end he gave his blessing. He didn't offer much of a dowry, but I don't care. The main thing is I can finally be with my Pavlena. We'll be wed in the summer.
That's great. I wish you happiness.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
How are you getting on, neighbour?
What is it, Teresa? Did your father send you? Does he need me to count his groschen for him again?
What? Father wanted you to count groschen for him?
Yes, not long ago. Quite a pile he had too. I had to write it all down for him. I never knew the mill was that profitable.
That's interesting. I'm feeling lucky today. How about you? Dice?
Holy Mother of God, why do you punish me?
Here.
Greetings.
What news, neighbour?
Have you heard that King Wenceslas's half-brother Sigismund and his foreign soldiers sacked Kuttenberg? I expect he wanted to loot his brother's silver to pay for his campaign against his allies. That horde of Tartars and mercenaries he has doesn't come cheap.
I heard something about it. Were many people killed?
No. Those cowardly burghers surrendered to Sigismund without a fight and begged him for their lives on their knees in the mud.
Why would King Sigismund turn against his own brother like that?
He wants to depose him, that's why. He and those foreign lords of his think Wenceslas isn't paying enough attention to the problems of the Empire. Well, that's easy to say, but if you ask me, the whole world is going to hell. Not even the church is able to stick together, and now we have 2 popes? How is a person supposed to know what to believe in anymore?
What do you think will happen?
It's starting to stink like a few years ago. You were still a little girl then, so you wouldn't know, but Wenceslas had to yield to his own lords. Jobst of Moravia and his League of Lords even abducted Wenceslas and locked him up in Austria. Wenceslas's younger brother John and his cousin, Prokop of Moravia, got him released in the end.
Well, at least some of his family remained loyal to him.
Well, yes. Only John and Prokop had to make some concessions to the lords in Prague that the king didn't agree with, so they fell out with him in the end anyway. I don't reckon they'll be willing to come to his aid again.
The more I hear about politics, the less sense it makes. I must get back to work.
I'm honored that you should come to me.
What news, neighbor?
News? Have you not heard, girl? The Empire is falling asunder under the hands of the king.
How do you mean?
King Sigismund of Hungary besieged Kuttenberg, and quite rightly too, in my opinion, because King Wenceslas' rule is no rule at all. I am not the only one who would rather see his brother Sigismund on the throne.
Such affairs have nothing to do with the likes of me. What I care about is how much grain we have to keep the mill making a living for us. Affairs of state are the concerns of royalty and nobility.
You're quite right. A woman should not trouble her heart with political matters. You had better go back to your chores, so that you do not make your father angry, no?
Bianca, how come you're up so bright and early?
Papa has me running around from dawn till dusk. You know how it is.
Indeed I do.
I'm glad you're here, Tess. You've got to help me with something. But first, can you go and see Henry for me? He's at the sheepfold by the stockade, as usual.
Oh? Playing around with wooden swords again?
Aye. He's getting ready for the life of a mighty warrior.
Well, at least we know he'll be able to protect you from outlaws with wooden swords.
Oh well, boys and their games. Listen, would you bring him a beer from me?
But why don't you bring it yourself?
If Pa saw me running after Henry, he'd tan my hide. But I can't leave him dry in this heat.
All right, I'll bring the beer to him.
Thanks. And don't forget to tell him it's from me.
Everyone knows all the beer in Skalitz is from you and your pa.
You know what I mean. And listen, Tess. Once you've given him the beer, come back to me again. Meanwhile, I'll make an excuse to Pa. I need you to go somewhere with me. But I'll tell you all about it after. Run along before the beer gets warm.
I brought you a beer. I'd say you'd need it after a hard battle.
Ah, great. It's as hot as Pa's forge out here today. That's very sweet of you to get me a beer.
Actually, Bianca sent it. Her pa doesn't want her to come here.
Ah, I see. I'll make it up to her this evening.
I don't want to know how. How come you're training on your own today? You're usually here with that vagabond. What's his name?
Vanyek. And he's not a vagabond. He's a wayfaring combat master.
Well, it looks like he's off wayfaring somewhere else today.
Yeah. More likely sleeping off last night's boozing. Actually, since I've no opponent today, wouldn't you like to have a go? I mean, a bit of swordplay. I could teach you.
Me? Swordplay?
Sure. Why not?
All right then. I accept your challenge, young sir. But I must warn you, I can swat a mouse with a broom with my eyes closed.
Yeah, I knew you had the heart of a warrior. Let's go then. Ah, very good.
Henry, really? Now that is hardly chivalrous behavior. Now, I shall have to fight for my honor. Take that, you scoundrel! Are you all right?
Nothing, I'm fine.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Are you mad at me?
No, of course not. It's my own stupid fault.
Well, that'll teach you to go around slapping decent, God-fearing girls on the backside. Let me have a look at it.
No, it's only a scratch and a couple of splinters. And I didn't mean to, you know.
Show me that.
No, really, it's nothing.
You know how it is, Hal? He who lives by the sword
Dies by the splinter, eh?
There now. By the way, you owe Bianca for that beer. What else was it you wanted from me?
You brought that beer to Henry then?
I did.
Uh-huh. And what did he say?
He had no one to train with, so we had a bit of swordplay together.
You playing with swords?
Yes, and as it happens, I did quite well. Actually, a bit too well. I hit Henry on the hand and wounded him.
Really, Tess? I never knew you were such a warrior girl. He had it coming, the donkey. Maybe it'll dampen his enthusiasm for adventure. All right, but now I can tell you what I wanted. Fancy a walk in the woods?
Right now? You want to court me in the shade of the pines?
No. I need to pick herbs for distilling schnapps. Henry's favorite.
Henry's favorite? I see.
Yes. I'd like to give it to him tomorrow.
I might have known it'd be about Henry again.
Well, you know how it is, Tess. Don't worry. You'll find a fella one day.
That's easy to say when you work in a tavern where there are fellas swarming around you all day. All I see at the mill are sacks of flour.
What about Zbyszek?
Zbyszek? I'd rather settle for a sack of flour.
I suppose. Your pa would never let Zbyszek have you anyway. Not long ago, when he had a few too many, I heard him say how he was going to get you the richest husband for miles around.
Oh, Pa. I hope that was just the beer talking. What herbs do you need?
I've got almost everything, except belladonna. I know a clearing where the best plants grow.
Belladonna? But that's deadly poison.
It is, if you don't know what you're doing. But don't worry, I haven't poisoned anyone yet.
Why don't you go and pick it yourself?
Pa won't let me go on my own. They say a wolf was seen in the woods recently.
A wolf? Hereabouts?
So they say. But it was old Blaha who claimed to see it, and he's never sober. Still, I wouldn't want to go there alone.
Couldn't your brother go with you?
Adam? He'd shit himself if he saw a wolf. And besides, someone has to take care of the tavern. But he could lend us his bow. Good thinking, Tess.
Thanks. So, you're going to borrow a bow from Adam, and then you want me to go with you to pick belladonna in the woods?
Actually, it's not entirely that simple. Adam won't lend me his bow. The last time he did, I broke the string. You'll have to get it from him. Anyway, I don't know how to shoot. But Stibor taught you, didn't he?
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
It doesn't matter. If the wolf sees a bow, he won't come near us. So will you go and ask Adam? You know he's always liked you. Just give him a wink and the bow is yours.
You might be able to do that with Henry, but me, well...
Come now. You're as pretty as any lass in the province. And once you've got the bow, meet me on the bridge by the lake, alright?
Alright, I'll help you. But next time I want something from you. I don't want to hear any excuses about how you have to see Henry.
Deal. You're an angel, Tess.
Greetings.
I heard you're a really good archer. And that you've even got your own bow.
Yeah. I've got a bow. I made it myself. And I can hit the tree behind the tavern at 20 paces.
Good heavens, that's amazing. Would you lend me your bow for a while?
Lend my bow? To a girl? Well, I don't know, Teresa.
Hey, Adam. If you lend me a bow, I'll dance with you at the next celebration.
Oh? You would? Really? Alright, here's the bow then. And some arrows. Take it all.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Be praised. How may I help you?
How are you doing, Jane?
Huh. Have you seen that vagabond by the gate?
Who do you mean?
That stinking bugger who's always skulking around there. I swear he eyed me like a demon when I went past carrying water. There's something not right about that fella. Mark my words. The catchball ought to send him hopping. We've no need for beggars and idle good-for-nothings in Skalitz.
You shouldn't talk about folk like that. We ought to be charitable to people in need.
Need? What he needs is to get off his lazy arse and find work.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
What news, neighbour?
I'll be off to work soon. I'm taking turns with Dushek in the East Gallery. It's a tough job there. A cramped space and only one support so far. Hard going it is. That's why Nemoy is sending us in shifts.
Why aren't you resting at home if you'll be off to the mine soon?
The wife's not well, so I'm doing what I can to lighten her load. Carrying water, picking up things at the market, peeling vegetables. You know yourself.
That's very good of you.
Well, when I'm sick, I'll send her to do my job in the mine.
I've seen you in Skalitz, but I've never spoken to you before.
No, not many people talk to me.
Why is that?
Why? Because I'm a stranger here, and people would rather look after their own than strangers.
Why are you begging?
I lost everything. I had a wife, a home, children. I had cattle and sheep. Then foreign soldiers came and took it all from me. They killed and burned. Only I survived.
What soldiers do you mean?
I don't know. One soldier's the same as the next. I fled far away to this peaceful land, as far as I could from the scene of my suffering.
I'll give you something. Wait.
A few groschen will do.
Here you are. At least you can get yourself a bite to eat.
Oh, thanks 1,000-fold. God sees your good deed and will watch over you.
I've got the bow. We can get going.
Great. Come with me. Hey, Teresa, wait. There's a magpie's nest somewhere on that tree. Last time I was passing here, I saw that bird carrying something shiny to its nest. Listen. Since you've got a bow, why not try and shoot the nest down? Adam does it all the time, so I'm sure there's nothing to it. May the Lord watch over you, Tess. I wonder what could be in that nest. What about that nest, Tess? Or do you want to...
I had a look in the nest.
Yeah? And what did you find there?
There was a ring in it. Looks like silver.
Really? Holy Mother of God! I always wanted a silver ring. But you're the one who shot it down.
You can have it.
You're giving it to me? Tess, you're the best friend ever. Thank you. I'll wear it to the dance this evening. Come on. Let's go and pick those herbs before it gets too late. This is the place. I'll start picking, and you keep a lookout.
Shouldn't I help you pick herbs too?
No, I'll manage fine on my own. I'd rather you kept your eyes peeled for that wolf.
What should I do if the wolf turns up, though?
You've got a bow, right? Don't think about it. Just shoot him. Besides, you've got Tinker. Although, I'm not sure he's any match for a wolf.
How long will it take you?
Just a short while. Don't worry. But while I'm at it, I'd like to pick enough to keep me going for a while. Just keep watch, and I'll tell you when I'm done.
All right, I'll keep watch. Just make it quick.
I'm glad I remembered this place. It seems no one else knows about it.
Get him!
Mother of God! It's the wolf! Teresa!
There's a good doggy. That's my boy.
I thought those rumors about a wolf were just idle talk.
Idle talk, indeed. If I'd been alone, that beast would surely have devoured me.
Did anything happen to you?
No, I'm fine. Thank God. It's a good thing you came along.
Did you manage to pick enough herbs?
Yeah, I did. Fortunately. I'll brew plenty of that liquor. Enough for you, too. As a reward.
All right. Thanks. That was a funny-looking wolf, don't you think? I reckon it was actually a wild dog.
Wolf or dog? It was a monstrous beast. Henry will never believe this.
What will you do now?
I'll go back to work at the tavern. There's been quite enough excitement for one day. Thanks for coming with me, Tess. And don't forget to come and see me tomorrow.
All right.
My God, what happened to you? You look like you've been assaulted.
How are things?
As always, the sun rose and I expect it'll set again, God willing. You're the miller's girl, aren't you?
That's me, Teresa.
I'm Julian, I'm a woodcutter. I don't think we've ever spoke before. Oh, you've got a lovely dog. What's his name?
We call him Tinker because he always pricks up his ears when he hears the rattle of pots and pans. Pa got him as a tiny pup from some executioner who has lots of dogs. Imagine, the executioner hadn't the heart to drown the pups. I suppose that's why he has so many dogs.
He's a fine fella. I'd love to have a dog like that to take on walks in the woods.
Try asking around the village. Someone might have one for you.
I asked the butcher. He's got a nice dog too. A good guard dog. Always barks at me when I go past. Only the butcher misunderstood what I was after.
How's that?
He thought I was after a dog for meat.
That's horrible. I'd never eat dog meat. Such lovely, useful animals.
Neither would I. Unless I was really starving. But there's plenty of folk who wouldn't think twice about it. I'm glad you stopped by for a chat. But I must get back to work now.
I don't know you, unless my memory deceives me. Where are you from, and what are you doing here?
Have you not noticed? I'm saving lives. I came from far away Sasau to avert great misfortune.
My God. What misfortune?
All the misfortune of the world, my dear. For misfortune walks not over mountains, but over men. I have artifacts that will avert mine cave-ins, swarms of locusts, bloody rain, and flaming swords. Not to mention, say, unhappy love, perhaps.
Do they really work?
Have you ever seen bloody rain?
No, I haven't.
There, you see. I have remedies for all woes, and an answer for everything.
Maybe that kind of talk might invoke those woes.
Have you ever heard it said that no one can be a prophet in his own land?
Yes. What's that got to do with anything?
Well, here am I, far from my own land.
What are these peculiar goods you're selling here?
Things that bring good luck. Or bad, if that's what's needed. What are you after? No, wait, don't tell me. I know just what your heart desires. I have here an amulet that will ensure your safety and your whole family's forever. Girls like you are always keen to have one.
Really? An amulet can do that?
Most assuredly. But unfortunately, I just sold the last one. However, I do have something even better.
What is it?
A map. Have you heard of the Scarlet's treasure?
Scarlet's treasure? No.
My dear child, you ought to ask your parents about it. Everyone knows about the Scarlet's treasure. But no one knows that I have a map to it.
Then why don't you dig it up yourself?
Me? A spiritual man? Please, I have no interest in worldly wealth. But you can have it for only a few groschen.
If it leads to treasure, as you say, how could I refuse? Satisfied?
Come now, just a little more and we have a deal.
Here you have it. Happy hunting.
That's really quite a pile of hay you have.
You're telling me. There's no end to the stuff.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I ain't the youngest, truth be told, but I can still handle one cartload of hay.
I hope so. It's just that it seems like there's no end to it at all.
Indeed. I'd rather see it all burn to ashes than keep breaking my back here for all eternity.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
Father sent me to pick up nails, but there's no one at the fort.
Aye, sorry, lass. Martin had to go to the castle to talk to Sir Radzig. He's to forge a sword for his lordship.
Oh, I see. And has he made the nails for Pa?
I'm afraid he hasn't had time on account of that sword. But if you come tomorrow, he'll surely have them for you. I'll remind him this evening.
All right. I'll stop by tomorrow.
Do that, dear. Oh, and by the way, the girls were looking for you.
Actually, I already talked to them, but thanks for letting me know.
Not at all. Oh, and another thing, Teresa. Have you seen Henry around anywhere? If he helped his father out more at the forge, there'd be no shortage of nails.
Henry? I haven't seen him at all today.
That lad is worse than a wild tomcat, always running off somewhere.
I'm sure he'll turn up soon.
Aye, when he gets hungry.
Silver's a capital crime. You get the pyre for that.
Why do you keep going on about it? What's it got to do with me? I keep telling you, I don't know nothing about any silver. I'm a miller. Flour is what I know about. If someone's stealing silver from the mines, why don't you talk to the mint master about it?
Well, we did. He was the one that brought it up.
It's our job to ask everyone who lives nearby if they saw anything suspicious.
Then good luck with that. Because in case you haven't noticed, everyone around here lives near the mines.
Aye, but some live closer than others. And then there's also the fact that... how to put it?
We're asking you because, well, you're a miller, right?
Oh, I see. Since I'm a miller, I must be a crook. Is that it?
No, but you know what they say.
Aye. They say you lot can hardly find your own asses. Never mind a thief. You're keeping me from my work, young fellas. So if we're done here, farewell and good luck.
All right, Miller. If you should happen to hear anything, let us know. Good day, Teresa.
I went for those nails, but the blacksmith is with Sir Radzig today.
All right, leave it till tomorrow then. No hurry. Right now, I need something else. Quick.
What's up?
The guards were here asking around. They said someone's been stealing silver from the mines. Can you go and tell Stibor? He went to check the fish trap below the bridge.
Why? What has Stibor got to do with stolen silver?
Look, just talk to him about it, all right?
But I'm asking you, Father. Don't tell me you don't trust your own daughter.
For heaven's sake, Teresa. I said talk to Stibor about it, so talk to Stibor. And hurry.
Pa sent me. The guards were here asking about silver going missing from the mines.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. All right. All right. Listen, Tess. I need your help.
Not so fast. First, tell me what the hell is going on.
All right. Look. How can I put it?
Spit it out. Otherwise, you're on your own.
All right. Pa came up with a nice little job. It's quite easy to sneak silver ore out of the mines, and he found this wealthy fella who offered to buy it. So, well, it does lead back to us. The missing silver is ours.
Merciful God!
I need your help, Teresa.
Sweet Jesus. You fellas haven't the sense you were born with. But family is family.
Thanks, Tess. I'm sorry to drag you into it, but I can't manage it on my own.
Where did you hide it?
That's the thing. It's at the bottom of a flooded shaft. Samuel was working there before.
You dragged Samuel into it too?
No. Samuel knows nothing about it.
So why don't you just go and get it?
I don't know how to get to it.
For heaven's sake, Stibor! Do you know where it is or not?
Yes, but you see, when I was carrying it out, they stopped me. I was standing on this wooden walkway and I dropped it over the edge so they wouldn't catch me with it. And now I don't know how to get to it. All I know is it made a splash when it fell.
And how are we supposed to find it? Go crawling through the whole mine?
No, I've got an idea. Samuel knows that area. He'll know how to get to the shaft.
Oh no, Stibor, forget it. You're not going to drag Samuel into your dangerous games.
Christ, no. What do you take me for? All he has to do is draw a map, and we'll do the rest.
Wait. I want to ask you something. How did you get mixed up in this?
Not long ago, I saw Pa hauling a sack of silver ore. I kept asking about it, and in the end he had to tell me what was going on.
God almighty, the king's silver? If you have to steal, couldn't you take something that wouldn't cost you your lives as well as your souls?
Around here? Like what? Cabbages?
Why are you doing it? You're not going to mint your own coin, surely?
Of course not. We just sell it to someone, but Pa deals with that. I don't know much about it.
Why are you helping him?
Well, he always gives me some of the money he makes from it.
Money won't be much use to either of you on the pyre. Where do you take the silver?
Pa takes care of that. Someone comes to pick it up.
Who does?
Some slimy kind of fella. I don't know what his name is. He serves some lord, but I don't even think Pa knows who that is.
That's all I want to know for now. Are you sure it's the same shaft where Samuel was working?
Definitely. There's no other flooded shaft in the mine. Remember when everyone was talking about how they hit a spring and had to abandon it?
All right, Stibor. I'll go to Samuel and get the map from him. Have you got something I can give him to draw it with?
Here. Give him this. And try to get it from him without giving the game away. Otherwise Pa will have a fit if he finds out.
I'll do what I can. Where is Sammy now?
Where do you think? I saw him heading for the fish pond as usual to avoid work. Once you have it, come and meet me at Wenceslas corridor on the hill. I'll be waiting there.
Greetings.
So, are they biting?
Well, so far, no. But there's still plenty of time before evening.
Why aren't you at work?
I was given some time off.
Time off? How come?
I smashed my foot with the pickaxe.
Mary, Mother of God! Are you all right?
I'm fine. It was just a pretense. I needed a break.
Really, Sammy? One day you'll really get hurt, and then no one will believe you. Sammy, I need something from you.
Oh, Tess, I just got ready for fishing.
Don't worry. You don't have to go anywhere. Remember that mine shaft where you used to work before it got flooded?
Yeah, it was a deep one. We went down that morning, and we were up to our knees in water. Master Fayfar said that always happens when you dig deeper than the drainage at it. We dug a well to slow it down, but even that wasn't enough.
Do you think you could draw me a map of the way there?
Why? What on earth would you want that for?
Stibor dropped something there.
Drop something? What?
Never mind. You really don't want to know.
For Christ's sake, what the hell are you mixed up in now? Oh, well, whatever. Show me that, I'll draw you a map.
Thanks. I'll run to him with it right away. I got that map from Samuel. What now?
Great! Well, first, we've got to get into the mine. That fool Nimoy is keeping watch. It'd be best if we split up. I'll get rid of him, and you can sneak in.
I want to ask you something. Why do I have to go inside? Why don't you do it?
Well, remember when we used to play hide and seek?
Yeah? You could never find me.
and you always found me immediately, because I was useless at hiding.
Yeah. You always had something sticking out.
Exactly.
You're right. Best if I do it.
For sure. There won't be many people inside now. Most of the lads will be outside eating. But even so, watch out.
Tell me again where I can find that sack.
It's somewhere in that flooded shaft. It's a good thing I was on that walkway when they stopped me. Otherwise, I'd have had nowhere to drop it. Only now, you have to get down there.
Who caught you? And how did you get out of it?
The miners, of course. I told them I was looking for Samuel, but I still got a hard time from the guards for being there at all.
That's all. All right. Let's get it over with then.
Once I get rid of him, you sneak inside past the bushes. And take a torch with you. It's as black as pitch in there. Just make sure no one sees you, though. Good luck, Tess.
Hey, Nemo, you rogue!
I wouldn't want to get lost in here. The walkway. The sack must be here somewhere.
Greetings.
Holber, what's new? How's the work going today?
Work is work. What more can I say? Do you need anything? Samuel's probably in the gallery. Unless he's slacking off somewhere.
Don't tell me Nemoy's been complaining about him again.
Again? He never stopped. Maybe you should take over from your brother. We could use a hard-working girl like you here. You could help with sorting the crushed ore, like the other girls.
I could, if I didn't have so much to do at the mill.
True. I suppose you don't have it easy as the only woman in the house. Besides, you'd have Nimoy watching you like a hawk.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing. Just, you know what they say about millers.
Don't tell me you believe that gossip too. Don't think I haven't heard the stories going around about Uncle Peshek, but not every miller is a crook.
Ah, I'm only teasing you. I know you're a good lass, and that little brother of yours is a decent lad too. Lazy, but decent.
I found the silver in the mine.
Not so loud. Oh, good work, lass. Leave it here, and I'll take care of everything. Thanks.
I'd like to say I'm glad to be of help, but I'm not, Pa. It could have ended badly for everyone, very, very badly.
Tess, you know I only want the best for all of you, don't you?
I do, Pa. I know you mean well. Just... please, be careful, all right? You and Stebor.
Don't worry, lass, we will. Thanks.
What about that surprise you promised me this morning?
Well, I won't keep you in suspense any longer. Besides, you deserve it, after helping us with that silver. So, I had a dress made for you in Rattay. A very fine dress indeed. You'll be the prettiest lass in the village.
A new dress, Pa. But... I don't understand. Why?
Well, you know, you're not a little girl anymore. You're a young woman now, mature and clever. Cleverer than me, for sure. You surely don't want to live here at the mill forever. Samuel's able to take care of himself, and after all that's happened, you don't want to end up with the kind of life me and Stebor have.
What is it, Pa? Why did you buy me that dress?
Look, Teresa, you're old enough to be married. It's about time we did something about it.
You're right, I suppose. But I don't have any suitors.
Actually, you do. I know of someone.
You found a husband for me? Who is it?
Don't worry. He's a decent man, a nice man. He's even close to the nobility. And he's rich. He'll take care of you. There's going to be a fete at the tavern this evening. Sir Radzig gave permission for a pig roast, and...
Who is it?
You can just have a chat, dance a little, and who knows? You might like him.
Are you going to tell me who it is?
It's Chief Engineer Tobias.
Tobias Fafar?
Aye, that's right.
Well, Master Fafar is a nice man. Yes, Pa, and certainly rich. But he's no spring chicken. To tell the truth, he'd never have crossed my mind when it comes to marriage.
Listen, we can talk it over, but the decision is mine to make. You've got to think of your future, Teresa. Master Fafar is a respected man, and that respect will extend to his wife and children too.
Children?
For heaven's sake, lass, don't be so naive. You were born a girl, and raising a family is what God made you for. Unless you'd prefer the convent. Go to the tavern this evening and let Master Fafar spend a nice pile of groschen on you. You'll have a great time, you'll see.
Show me that dress, then.
It's in the trunk here under the window. Once you've done all your chores, get dressed up and off you go.
All right, Teresa. Time to grow up, put on that lovely dress, and go and meet your groom. Well, there's no point in dragging it out. Pa will tan my hide for not going to that dance. Oh well, I'd better see him and face the music. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this. Here, chickie, chickie, chickie. Here you are, girls. Fill your beaks.
Where did you get to yesterday? Master Fafar was here. He said he waited all evening and you didn't show up.
Sorry, Pa. When I saw everyone there, Henry with Bianca, Johanka and Matthias, and Fafar there waiting for me.
You just took to your heels and left him there waiting in vain, eh?
I'm sorry, Father.
You always had a mind of your own. Just like your ma. I'm not cross with you, Tess. But sooner or later you'll get married. And you can be sure I won't give your hand to just anyone.
I know, Pa. But next time you could at least ask me what I think.
Aye, fair enough, lass. Next time I'll talk to you about it. But only if you'll be sensible and go there today. The dance will continue today and Master Fayfar will be there. He's paying for everything, see? But now we'll let it lie. There's work to be done. Will you go and pick up those nails from the blacksmith? He should have them made by now, and that fence isn't going to finish itself.
All right, Pa. I'll go and get them. Mother of God, what happened to you?
What do you think? I was attacked, that's what. By those two fools, Fritz and Matthew.
God in heaven, like little boys.
You're nicely bruised.
Do something about it. I'm bleeding.
Show me that. I'll bandage it for you. I've got something here.
Get on with it then.
Enough of your impudence. What were you lot fighting about anyway?
That bunch of vandals was throwing manure at the Deutsch's house. And when Hans shouted at them to stop, they attacked us. The fuckers.
Manure, eh? That explains your new fragrance.
Ha ha. Fucking hilarious. But I'll get them back. Don't you worry.
God have mercy. You boys are never happy unless you're fighting. Now go and lie down in the mill for a while. You won't get much work done in that state. Goodbye.
God's blessings.
So, how did things go with Matthias?
I can't believe it. He came to me of his own accord. What do you make of that?
Well, it wasn't entirely of his own accord.
I know, you're right. Thank you so much, Tess. Maybe after all it's a good thing you didn't take his dice. It might have just made him mad and then he'd be in no mood for dancing. But where were you? I didn't see you there at all.
I just wasn't in the mood for it. I took Tinker for a walk instead.
That's a shame. It was fun, but I probably wouldn't have gone either if I had no one to take me.
No, it's not the same, is it?
God bless. What can I help you with?
What's new in the village, good wife?
Oh, all sorts, lass. Or nothing at all. Depends how you look at it. There's talk enough about everyone. What interests you?
Have you heard anything about what's going on at the castle with Sir Radzig?
I have. Blacksmith Martin is making him a new sword, and some engraver from far off is decorating it. No doubt it'll be a fine piece of work.
Have you heard anything about Henry and Bianca?
I'm surprised the innkeeper lets that young fellow court his daughter. I don't think he's in any hurry to make an honest woman of her. But maybe she's keeping it secret from her pa.
Have you heard anything about Johanka?
Well, it seems to me she's been making eyes at young Matthias. But the silly sod hardly notices she exists. You're friends with her, aren't you? You ought to know if there's any truth in it.
Oh, aye. Johanka has had her eye on Matthias since last harvest.
Ah, I thought as much.
What have you heard about Fritz and Matthew?
That pair. Carpenters, they call themselves. If you ask me, the only thing they'll be building is gallows for themselves.
Any news about Master Fayfar?
Master Tobias is a good soul. That dance this evening is all his doing. He arranged it with Sir Radzig. I wonder why, though. Unless it's just to spread his wealth among the common folk.
I wonder what people are saying about my brothers.
Well, no offence, lass, but it's well known Samuel has no fondness for hard work. As for Stibor, to tell the truth, no one's said anything much about him. Oddly enough.
Are people saying anything about me?
Ha! There's talk about everyone, lass. But I can't go telling folk what others are saying about them. That wouldn't be right.
I'll leave you to it, good wife. God bless. Master Tobias, about that dance.
Hi, lass. I waited for you. I was hoping you'd come, since your father promised.
Yeah, my father promised you, but he never asked me what I thought about it. Is no one at all interested in what I want?
That's the way the world works, Teresa. And whatever you may think, your father only wants what's best for you.
If he wanted the best for me, he would have chosen someone else. No offense, Master Fafar.
I didn't take offense at your behavior yesterday, and I won't now. I'll have a word with your father, and we'll see what's to be done now.
Sure, talk to father. It's nothing to do with me, after all. Farewell.
God's blessings.
So, did you make use of those herbs?
I did. The brew is ready, and I made some for you too. Here you are.
Thanks. Although I really don't know what Henry sees in it. A real man should be sure of himself without having to swig schnapps all the time.
You might be right. You know, he even drinks it before we... You know?
Please, that's more than I need to know. Disgusting.
Disgusting, yeah.
How are you?
What's new in the village?
Everyone is flapping around because of this dance. Sarasic has promised a roast pig, and they are behaving like this manna from heaven. My God, you would think they never saw meat in their lives before.
I think it's very good of his lordship. Will you not be going then?
Yes, I will go, only to see this foolishness for myself. But it is not from the kindness of Sarasic, it's Master Fafar who is paying for this.
It's magnificent.
Indeed it is. The Lord be with you. My father sent me for those nails.
Good day to you, Teresa. They're ready. Will you fetch them for me, Hal? They're in the trunk in the living room.
What about those nails, Henry?
Here you are.
Thanks. So, how's Bianca?
She's fine. Why do you ask?
Just wondering. Will you be going to the dance this evening? Maybe we'll see each other there. Anyway, mustn't keep you. I'll be on my way.
That sword is truly beautiful.
Červená se jablíčko, zahrát se nám zdálo. Můj milej nic nevidí, na něj, že se smálo. Ztratilo se jablíčko v travičce vysokej. Můj milej ho nenajde, bude ho mít jinej. Rozběhlo se jablíčko ze stráně u řeky. Můj milej ho nechytí, uplave na věky.
Father!
You swine!
Zbyszek! They're everywhere!
What?
They're killing everyone!
What?
Zbyszek, we have
Shit.
to... We have to...
Shit!
Elkaptam, gyertek segíteni!
Let go of me!
Gyertek!
Let go of me! No, let...
Ez az ember olyan, akár itt meg az út kalfa!
Get off me!
Fogd rendesen!
Bastard! Please, stop, no! Stop!
Picsába, nyisd ki a kurvát!
Leave me alone!
Franc! A faszom döpjen beléd, vagy valami hegyesebbre? Megfogjad! A faszba, László! Te siket kretén! Egy lány van ott bent! Nyisd ki!
Samuel! Oh my God, I hope he's safe. I've got to find him.
Hey, ki van ott? Mi?
Ragazzi, chi era?
Matthew.
Teresa? Oh.
He's still breathing. You piece of shit. Go, lad. I told you to fucking die. Teresa. Well, thank Christ you made it. What about your pa and Steeble? Oh.
Have you seen Samuel?
Yes, he's inside. But listen, Teresa. They cut him up real bad.
We'll take you to him. It ain't safe out here.
Teresa! Oh, Teresa! Teresa! Oh, 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 Teresa! Oh
Fritz, go and tell the others. We'll set off in a while, as soon as the sun sets.
We should barricade the passage behind us, in case any of those fuckers follow us.
Yeah, do that. Teresa, Samuel's lying over there.
First, I want to ask you about something. What happened to Samuel?
I'm not sure. I wasn't there when it happened. But he must have been here in the mine when they came in. He's lucky he got out of it alive.
Yeah, the others weren't so lucky.
How many of you are here?
A dozen or more. We ran to the mines when all hell broke loose.
We've been waiting here since then, for the right moment to escape.
What happens next?
We'll wait for nightfall and then creep out. Let's hope those devils will be too busy looting to notice us.
But where do you want to go?
We still have to decide. Probably Tomberg. Rovna's done for, and there's nothing else anywhere nearby.
What if the fuckers attack Townburg too, though? I reckon we should head for Sasau.
Sassau's a long haul, Fritz. But if there's no other option, we'll see.
Thank you. I'll go to my brother. Don't leave without us.
Teresa.
Samuel, you're alive. When I saw you lying there all still and I thought...
Teresa, help me. Please. I'm hurt. It hurts something awful.
Where does it hurt?
Everywhere. It's bad. Teresa.
Sammy, what is it?
Teresa. I don't want to die.
Oh, Sammy, you're not going to die. I won't let you die. I'm here with you. Show me that wound.
Yeah. It's bad, isn't it?
It's an ugly wound, but those bandages saved your life. The bleeding has stopped. That's a good sign.
Yeah. I was bleeding. Like a stuck pig. Teresa, my head is spinning.
Don't worry. You take it easy now. As soon as I get you out of here, we'll find a physician. How did it happen?
Those heathens cut us off in the shaft before we knew what was going on. They were already inside. It was awful. We couldn't see a thing, and we had to get past them. And one of them got me. I didn't even see him coming. It was so dark. Shouting and screaming.
There now, Sammy. It's all right now. You got away from them.
Yeah. Those bastards were more interested in the silver. What about Pa and Stebo? Where are they?
They hid. We split up, but I saw them running to safety. Nothing can hurt them now.
Maybe they'll have better luck than me.
Listen, Samuel. We've got to get out of here. It'll be getting dark outside, and we won't get a better chance.
I don't know if I can. But you're right. If the bleeding has stopped, let's go. But we've got to find Stibor and Pa. When? When did you see him last? Maybe they're hurt.
There's no time for that now. I'll tell you everything as soon as we get out of here. Come on. The others are waiting by the entrance to the mine. Come on. I'll help you.
Which way do you want to go?
We'll try going past Rovna. It seems there's not so many of them that way. But Teresa, what about Samuel?
Samuel? He'll come with us, of course.
Teresa, he can hardly stand on his feet. He's lost a lot of blood.
What are you saying?
He's a tough one, I can't deny. But we'll have to be quick on our feet, and Samuel would hold us back.
Matthew, surely you don't expect me to leave him here?
It's your decision, Teresa. I'm just telling you how things are. And I'm afraid, even if he did go with us, he'd never survive the journey. I'm sorry.
Then you go, and I'll stay here. Send help as soon as you get to Talmberg.
Are you sure, Teresa? You ought to go with us.
I can't leave Sammy here, Matthew. He's all I have left. I'll nurse him, and we'll wait till morning. You get to safety and tell them what happened here. Sir Divish of Talmberg is a good friend of Sir Radzig's. He'll do what he can to help.
It seems there's no changing your mind. There are torches in the mine, and you should still be able to find some water for bathing Sammy's wounds. You should change his bandages too.
Thanks, Matthew.
Teresa, if...
May the Lord watch over you. Matthew.
I'll send some help back from Talmberg. Stay out of sight.
These bandages are soaked through with blood. I'll have to change them. And I should get something to heal the wounds. Some marigold, at least, so the wounds don't get infected. And water for cleaning. Matthew said there should be some in the mine somewhere.
Let's see what you can sniff out here.
Seek!
Hey, meet you. Georg! Hey!
Sammy. Sammy, wake up. Sammy. Sammy, wake up. Wake up. No. Samuel. None of that. You wake up right now. No. No. Please, Sammy, no. No. No, you can't. You can't do this to me. Sammy, please. No. No. Holba? What happened? Why are you shouting here? You'll bring those heathens.
I have to get out of here and find the others. Warn them.
How did you survive the attack?
I hid at the top of the hill and stayed there until it got dark and the screaming stopped. The whole of Skeletons was in flames.
I know. I saw it too.
I wanted to go to Talmberg to warn them, but when I was climbing down in the dark, I lost my footing and went rolling down like a sack of charcoal. I'm black and blue all over.
Did you see any other survivors?
I saw a few people in the distance, but I didn't want to risk shouting to them. There were still a lot of enemy soldiers around. You might run into some of our neighbors.
You're injured. Can I do anything to help?
Something's wrong with my leg. I twisted it when I fell, and I managed to limp here to this path. But now I'm all done in.
Let me have a look at that leg. Maybe I can manage to set it.
All right. But please, be careful.
It seems you were lucky. It doesn't look like anything's broken. If there was, the skin would be turning blue by now. Keep that leg raised for a while. And when you go, try not to put too much weight on it. Find a branch or a stick to lean on.
All right. Thanks. I reckon I can manage to get up now. But would you help me as far as the road? The going will be easier there.
I'll help you. Lean on me.
I'll manage it from here. But which way should I go?
Go to Talmberg, like the others, and tell them what happened here and to send help.
All right. I won't forget your kindness. But what are you going to do now?
I'll go to the castle to see if anyone survived there.
If you're not afraid to go there, you could look around the small holdings near Skeletons or the mine works. People took cover wherever they could when the raid started. May God watch over you, Teresa.
This is our house. What's left of it. I can't believe it. Such devastation. Why? Pa, if you can see me now, I'm sorry. So sorry. Give my love to Ma. Stibor, you stood up to them. You were always the brave one. I'll come back and bury you in hallowed ground, like you deserve.
Nu csak!
Let's see what you can sniff out here. Seek. Yarmila, what are you doing here? How come you didn't flee like the others?
I can't. There's one of those bastards creeping around out there.
What? Where did you see him? The army has pulled out and moved on.
He must be a deserter. He keeps looking around here for what he can steal. And he looked like he was pretty drunk. You must help me. You've got to get rid of him. Otherwise, I'll die here.
Do you know if anyone else survived?
I don't know, Teresa. They killed William. He tried to run, but they had horses and they...
That's all right, Yarmila. I understand. Pa and Stibor and Sammy. They didn't make it either. I'm left all alone.
Oh, you poor lass. How can God allow such things?
You've nothing to fear. I dealt with that deserter.
Oh, thank God. I thought I'd never get away from here alive. Thanks, Teresa. If you hadn't turned up, I'd be done for sure.
That's all right. Go to Tomberg and tell the people there what's happened. I'll have a look around for other survivors. Are you mad, shouting like that?
Well, I have to find Pavlena. She got lost when we were running in the night.
It's still not safe here. Shouting like that is asking for trouble.
But I have to find her. I can't leave without her. Will you help me?
Where did you see her last?
In the woods here. We were hiding from those demons. I didn't think they'd come here, but when it was getting dark, they found us. They came upon us from behind. I think we surprised them as much as they did us. We started to run and it was horrible. One arrow missed me by a hair. I thought I was done for. I ran and ran and then I found myself alone. I lost those bastards, but Pavlena too. I have to find her.
You should keep your voice down. There could still be cutthroats within earshot.
But I've got to find Pavlena. I've got to help her.
What was Pavlena wearing?
The same as always. A blue dress, and she had a scarf on her head.
Let's see what you can sniff out here. Seek. That's a good boy. That's my boy. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this. This must be that Pavlena that Maros was looking for. Dead. I should go and tell him. About Pavlena. What was Pavlena wearing?
The same as always. A blue dress, and she had a scarf on her head.
I think I saw her.
Really? Where?
I'm sorry, but she's dead. They must have caught up with her when they were chasing you.
Oh, no, no, no. My Pavlena. I should never have left her like that. I thought she was right behind me. Jesus, what am I going to do?
You should flee, and save yourself at least.
I don't know what to do now. Where can I go?
Go to Tomberg and tell them everything. Sir Divish will send help, and then we'll come back and bury our loved ones. I promise.
All right. What about you?
I'll keep looking around for other survivors.
If I had half your courage, Pavlena might still be alive. Oh, God. Take this. Maybe you'll come across someone who needs it. God be with you.
I have to. Where is it? Cutter!
Julian? Is it you? Don't be afraid. It's me, Teresa. Are you all right?
Everywhere. They're everywhere. Where is it? Where is it?
You're one of the woodcutters, aren't you?
Yes. Cutter. Where is it? Quick! They're everywhere!
Julian, you're not making any sense. Where's what? I don't understand you.
Cutter! Woodcutter! They're everywhere! I need it!
Oh my God. What happened here? Did anyone else survive?
They came from everywhere. Where is it?
How did you survive? You were left here amongst all these bodies?
Everywhere.
You've got to get out of here, Julian. Pull yourself together.
No. They're everywhere. Cutter!
Listen. If you stay here, they might come back and kill you. You wouldn't want that, would you?
No! Cutter! Where is it?
This is going nowhere. This is hopeless. How am I going to get through to you?
Where is it?
Julian, pull yourself together. Here's your axe. That's what you were looking for, right? Now you'll be safe.
Cutter! Yes! My cutter!
Good, Julian. And now, get to Tomberg. The others are already on the way there. Run like the devil and don't look back.
Tomberg! Yes!
Master Potter? What in the name of God are you doing here?
I'm trying to get into my goddamn house.
What for? You ought to flee like everyone else.
I've got coin hidden there. I'm not going to just walk off and leave it. Listen, maybe you can help me. I've heard you mill people know how to deal with these kind of things.
What are you implying? That I'm a thief?
Come now, don't play the innocent. We all know your father is no saint. You must have learned some secrets of the trade from him, no?
My father is dead.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, lass. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Why can't you unlock the door? Don't you have the key?
Of course I do. That is, I did, but I lost it. I was bringing firewood from the woods. Just as I got to the footbridge, I saw that huge army. I dropped everything and ran home as fast as I could. I must have dropped that blasted key on the way.
How did you manage to survive?
I hid out on top of the haystack until morning. Those heathens were sniffing around, but something disturbed them and they ran to the village.
It's still not safe here. Coin is no use to a dead man. You ought to flee to Tomberg while you can.
And leave my life savings to pillagers and footpads? Not a chance.
Where do you think you might have dropped the key?
I'm not sure. It must have been somewhere along the path from the woods. After I passed the footbridge. I was carrying firewood when the raid started. I dropped everything and ran. The key must have fallen on the way.
All right. I'll try and get that coin for you, but I can't promise anything. Where is it hidden?
This damn door is as solid as a rock. All right. Once you get inside, go to the pantry on the left. There's a sack of apples in there, and the purse is hidden right at the bottom of it. Get it and bring it to me. Meanwhile, I'll keep watch here.
This could be the key the porter lost. My, there really is a purse full of groschen here. And a pretty heavy one, too.
But I don't have any money on me.
We'll see about that. Show me everything you have.
Oh, I swear I don't have anything.
Cut the horseshit. Strip.
My God Almighty. With all the horror that's going on, he wouldn't have thought twice about killing us on account of money.
People can be swine. They see a corpse and come swooping down like carrion crows. You shouldn't feel bad about it. He got what he deserved.
Take the money. Take it and go to Tomberg. Warn them there and tell them to send help. I'll have a look around the village for survivors.
I'll do that. Take care of yourself, Teresa.
Good fella. That's my boy. Come here.
Fuck off! Go on, go on, go on, go! Fuck's sake! Gosh, I'm gonna find this fucking place.
Right, you whore sons. I've had just about enough of you.
Hey, go fuckers!
That's, I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. You've been through it yourself. I know you understand.
There's something else I'd like to ask. Remember how we were sword fighting together? The next morning, Ma scolded me on account of that scratch on my hand.
Oh, dear. Sorry about that.
That's all water under the bridge now. I never told her it was you who did it. I just wish you could have covered my back too. She was angry that I was at sword training instead of working in the forge, and she said you told her. Your pa and Stibor were really stealing from the royal mines? Jesus. I don't think even Fritz and Matthew would take that kind of chance. And there's not much that pair won't do for an easy groschen.
Yeah. In a way I can understand that Pa did it for us, but it was really irresponsible. You won't tell anyone, will you?
I won't, I promise. So what happened to the silver?
Pa handed it over, as always, to that slimy fellow, and he took it away. What happened to it then, I don't know.
Your pa really wanted to marry you off to Master Tobias?
Yes. Can you believe it?
And have you spoken to Master Fayfar since the raid?
I haven't. Either he's lost interest, or he's forgotten about me. Not that I'm complaining. Uncle Peshek would be happy to marry me off too, especially if there was something in it for him. I'm glad that's in the past.
Aye, I don't blame you. So Johanka and Matthias finally got together. Well, if it hadn't been for everything that happened afterwards, who knows? They could be headed for the altar. Probably just as well you didn't play along with Johanka's harebrained scheme and found a better solution. Matthias would have had a fit if he'd lost his favourite dice. Bianca told me something about your little expedition to the woods. She was flaunting that ring all day. I was worried for a while that she had some other suitor who gave it to her.
No. Unless you can count a magpie.
Bianca told me you really ran into a wolf. I thought Bianca must have been imagining things.
Not exactly. It was actually a wild dog, but Pa used to say those are even worse than wolves.
It's a good thing you were there with Bianca. Going back to help the survivors, that was very brave of you. When I went back to Skalitz, I met no one but footpads and cutthroats. If you hadn't come along, I doubt I'd be here to tell the tale.
You know what our parish priest always used to say? Without Christian charity, we'd all soon be dead. I couldn't just leave you all to your fate, could I? Any good Christian would have done the same.
Well, I'm not so sure. Not everyone has your courage. Did you go back to Skalitz again, to bury your pa and your brothers?
Yes, along with some more of our neighbours. We had an escort from the retired garrison, with Sir Hanish's kind permission.
Where are they buried?
Sammy's buried near the mines. He didn't like the mines, but his grave is on the hill where I used to meet him for lunch. He loved it there. I know it's not consecrated ground, but what could I do?
God will understand. I buried Ma and Pa under the linden tree by our house. It's what they would have wanted.
Yes. Father and Stibor are buried in the churchyard in Rovna.
Once things settle, we'll be able to go back and pay our respects. And get the priest to bless their graves. I have no more questions. Thank you for telling me about everything, Teresa. I know it isn't easy to talk about.
It helped to talk to someone who knows what it's like. Thank you. I'm glad you came out of it in one piece.
Yeah, so am I. And I'm glad you did too.
By the way, Henry, I have something for you.
The soldiers gave it to me when we brought you from Skalitz. I meant to give it to you earlier, but, you know, it belonged to one of the Skalitz garrison. They wanted me to have it for being brave, but I hope I'll never have use for such a thing.
Oh? How come? What is it?
It's a shield with the Skalitz crest. I'd like you to have it, to protect you, and as a keepsake from home.
Sure. Thanks, Teresa. Thanks for everything.
You did what was right.